Hello guys, welcome back. So let's do a new topic, types of transplantation. So write down the heading and make 4 columns. First, we will be learning about autograft. This is the first type of transplantation that we will be learning. The second type of transplantation is allograft. The third is isograft. The fourth is xenograft. So let's know about each in detail. So autograft means transplant tissue is from the same person. Transplant tissue of same person. For example, you can write bypass surgery. So in bypass surgery, what we do, we take a vein. The vein usually used is great saphenous vein. This great saphenous vein, we will be doing it in anatomy. You can know for bypass surgery, we take this great saphenous vein and graft it over the heart. Okay, so this, what we did, we took the tissue from the same person. It could be a tissue, a vein, or a part of a skin. Okay, so autograft is if the transplant tissue or whatever material we are taking is from the same person who is undergoing transplantation. For allograft, the transplant is used from the same species, but they should not be genetically identical. Or you can write, they should be genetically non-identical. It's one and the same. For example, organ transplant. In organ transplant, if suppose someone needs a liver, and if in family no one is compatible to donate its liver, then we look out for donor through organ banks, right? We have people who donate their organs. So we'll look for the liver which will be compatible to the person who needs it. So at that time, the species is same. We will obviously look for a human liver, but they are not genetically identical. But the person who will be donating his liver might not be his family member. Family members have a genetically identical genes. Okay, so allograft is a transplant done between same species where they are genetically non-identical. For isograft, it is same species and they are genetically identical. Now, example for this could be identical twins. Okay, I hope this is easy and clear. It's similar to allograft in same species, but allograft has non-identical and these are genetically identical. Isograft is genetically identical. The last is xenograft. They transplant from one species to another. For example, from pig to cow. They both belong to different species. But if we perform a transplant between these two, then the type of transplant is xenograft. I hope this types of transplantation is clear. So let's move to another topic, that is atavism. So write down a new topic, atavism. Now what does this mean? Write down atavism. It is a reference of trait of an ancestor in a subsequent generation. For example, finding a homodont tooth at this era means our 21st century. Okay, so this homodont tooth, it is a feature of our ancestors, but if we see this in today's people, then we call it as atavism. That is a reference of trait. It is a trait. This homodont tooth is a trait. This trait, if found in a subsequent generation, means the generation which we are having right now, is called as atavism. Okay, now similar to atavism, we have one more thing called as, write down another topic, theory of recapitulation. It is also called as ontogeny. It has many names. Ontogeny recapitulates. Another name is embryological parathalism, and the last name is biogenetic law. Okay, now what does this mean? Now what does this mean? Let's know. But before moving on with its detail, we should know what it means by evolution. Evolution is changes which take place in an organism over a time. It is changes in an organism over time. Okay, with time there are changes in the organism, right? And one more thing you should remember is regarding embryology. That embryology, it is divided into stages. Which stages? Developmental stages. So write down, it is divided into developmental stages with splits off during evolution. With splits off during evolution. What happens? We have divided what happens? Our embryological development is divided into stages. We have first trimester, second trimester. We have weeks also, on the basis of weeks also, that in this week this is formed, in this week this is formed. But this is a rough idea, okay? Sometimes some things can get delayed in a fetus, some things can be made very early, okay? So we have sometimes premature baby, sometimes we have overly mature baby. So these all things, these stages which are divided, these stages and the time which is taking, this leads to evolution actually, okay? So evolution came from this developmental stages split, okay? Now let's know what does this theory mean which I have written here, the theory of recapitulation. It means that, for example, if we have milk teeth, then these milk teeth is replaced by permanent teeth, right? And we know that permanent teeth, once broken, cannot come back, okay? So this permanent teeth, if breaks down, then it doesn't come back. We know this. But what happens? Sometimes permanent teeth comes again. And this feature which we are seeing, this is the theory of recapitulation, that because of evolution, because of some changes, there are possible outcomes which we can see. Okay, that is the meaning. So theory of recapitulation is related to evolution. And for evolution, we now learned that during the embryological period, the developmental stages are split, which leads to evolution. Okay, and the example we are studying right now. Similarly, sometimes if bones usually get strong with time, right? In baby, bones are weak. Then it becomes strong, then it becomes more strong when we reach the adulthood. But evolution can either go to making the bones soft or can even make it more strong. So it depends on person to person. So this is the theory of recapitulation, which is also known as biogenetic law, and it is also having many other names. So you should know that evolution can be predicted, but we aren't sure of it. Okay. Now there are few extra points which are actually coming into histology but are asked in medical biology subject as well. So let's write them down. So make a new heading. It's related to the layers of our body, okay, which are formed during gastrulation. So the three layers formed were ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm. So we should know what is formed by ectoderm. So ectoderm forms epidermis, nervous system, and instead of nervous system, sometimes they give neural tube. Okay, so you should know that ectoderm forms your epidermis, the outermost layer of the dermis, and nervous system and neural tube. So if they give you a question that a person or a baby is not having nervous system, the reason of it is ectoderm. Okay, The second thing you should remember it is that dermatome. This dermatome, it is formed by it forms glands. So glands in our body is formed by dermatome. Lastly, the dermis forms somite of mesoderm. Lastly, somite of mesoderm forms dermis. You must remember these three. Somite of mesoderm, you'll be doing it in embryology. Somite, this mesoderm, it is divided into types. Okay, so somite part of the mesoderm will form the dermis. Now let's do one more topic which is related to medical biology, is that they ask that if we are walking vertically, then how many lordosis and kyphosis we have. So we naturally have two lordosis. You can see in this picture we have two lordosis, that is one cervical lordosis and lumbar lordosis, and one kyphosis. But according to Kroc, they say we have two lordosis and two kyphosis when we are walking vertically. So write down this point: two lordosis and two kyphosis present when we walk vertically. So it is a Kroc question that you should remember. And you should also know that normally we have two lordosis and one kyphosis. Now, lordosis is this inward curvature, okay, and kyphosis is somewhat C shape. Okay, so this is L and this middle one is kyphosis, that is K. Lastly, they give most of the question on elderly, or sometimes they give it option as aging. That is, they will give all the old age problems, the problems which elder people faces. For example, they'll give you skin elasticity is loose. They have visual and hearing impairment. Sometimes they give vital capacities decrease. Vital capacity includes their lung capacities. Okay, their vital capacity decreases. They give the person has atherosclerosis. Their arterial pressure is high. So these all features which I told you, these all belong to when person is aging or going towards the older age. So this is, we called it as aging, or we call this as elderly period. So they'll give you a bunch of these features. Sometimes they give skin elasticity loose, arterial pressure high, vital capacity decreases. Sometimes they'll give other features. Okay, so you should know that in elderly period what and all happens. Okay, so that's all for this video. Important points I have covered regarding this Kroc. You can remember one more point, that in our body leukocytes work. They are the soldiers in our body which fight against the disease. Disease is our enemy. So these leukocytes, how they fight the enemy? They do it by phagocytosis. Okay, they will engulf it. Engulfing something is phagocytosis. So write down, leukocyte does phagocytosis. And this phagocytosis, it is a function of amoeba, which is a unicellular organism. So sometimes they give you a question, for example, that amoeba does the work, that amoeba eats, or that amoeba does phagocytosis. Similarly, in our body, there is something which does phagocytosis. Then in the option, you should mark the right answer as leukocytes. Okay. So these were some of the important Kroc tricks or tips, you can say, and important Kroc questions which come. Remember the theory and remember the types of transplantation. This transplantation is important in your Kroc point of view also, and in general surgery, they have this topic also. Okay. So remember them. That's it. Thank you.